All right, let's talk house calls. Let's talk painting and healing. First off, house calls. I am taking a annual trip that I usually take to Quincy, Washington for Labor Day weekend. It's a 3-day Dave Matthews concert in Quincy, Washington at the Gorge Music Venue. I'll be taking the path San Diego through Los Angeles, OC, that area, up through Sacramento, through Mount Shasta, and then visiting a couple places in Southern Oregon, and then heading up over to Quincy for the weekend. So Quincy, Washington, Sacramento, Mount Shasta, OC, LA, that area. Check where you are. Check if this feels right. You can reach out for details on what a house call is. A house call is exactly what we would do virtually. It's what would happen in my office when I held an office, but an office just didn't make sense anymore. Since we were using everything within your lives as the tools. There was nothing that would be contained within an office that you would need other than my words, guidance, and then for you to apply in your life. But just the concept of you having to go to an office psychologically was inhibiting when I ended up 22 years and thinking about it. I had to shut it down. There was a better way, and that's what I do, is keep evolving. So now it's virtuals and house calls. So everything, you understanding whatever your diagnostics are. I do not diagnose ever. I do not treat ever. I do not do anything to prevent ever. I do not run diagnostic tests of any kind ever. Will never. But what I do is help you understand your body and why it's speaking the way it is, and then actionable efforts you can make regardless of your scenario, even if you're prepping for a surgery, even if it's post-surgery, even if you're taking chemo and you want to take chemo, or you want to get everything cut out and you want to have no organs in your body, and you want to go to every allopathic medical practitioner, you want to go to every naturopathic medical practitioner, you're still going to have to prepare to be able to mentally, emotionally, psychologically, with beliefs and programs, and physically and energetically and lymphatically and structurally, and to be able to handle and adapt to that world. It is not to talk you out of a surgery. It is not to talk you out of some form that you're doing. That is not what I do. It is making putting logic to what your body's doing, and then guiding you in the creative aspects of what you were to do moving forward. Could be injuries, could be labels, could be symptoms, could be chronic, could be acute, doesn't matter. It does not matter. I've had stroke patients, to heart attacks, to hospice, to pro athletes, to teenagers, to pre-op, post-op replacements, herniated discs, autoimmune, you name it. I've either had it or seen it or worked with it. And it's really not an it. It's just meeting you where you're at and helping you to understand your body. And if you understand your body, then you understand what changes to make. If we don't understand our bodies, we're just making blind changes and just shooting in the dark, and every so often a bullet will land and you hit something and you have a good 3 months, and then all of a sudden everything falls apart and you're like, what the fuck? And you're just diving into the next test. So that's what a house call is. Email me, info@TommyJohn if it makes sense. And if it feels right, we take it very seriously. So I will be showing up for those who are ready. Next, had a visit. And I like to do this analogy where, regardless of what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, regardless of how long you've had it, regardless of where your starting point is, it's kind of like you are painting you're creating a painting, right? You will have access to all the same colors that everybody else has access to, including me. And I love sharing my stories in one-on-ones, and everyone's like, what? You had this skin, you had this hormone, you had this growth, you had this tumor, you had this hormone therapy, you had the, yeah. You had this injury, sure, recently. It just helps to connect. Well, then what'd you do? Everything we have in your document, everything we covered in this visit, I have the same colors that I'm accessing and I have to go get and harvest, but I'm going to paint my own picture, my own painting, and you're going to use the same colors and you're going to have your painting, and then we're going to compare paintings and we're going to look and it's going to be, holy shit, it's completely different. Even if we're told to paint the same thing, it will still be drastically different because you cannot copy somebody else's creative expression. It's impossible. It's based on everything about them. And that is what your symptoms are. Your symptoms and injuries are a creative expression of the truest nature of you, the most honest version of you. That's why today's post, nobody really liked it. And of course they didn't. Your metabolism isn't slow. It's honest. Your hormones aren't imbalanced. They're honest. It's just the body responding perfectly to why you're living. And it just is a painting. And if you want a different painting, take the colors and paint differently. But here's the thing. After breaking down this analogy, the person was like, oh my God, that's totally true. I went with some friends and they did the sip and paint, where you bring wine and you paint a painting, and you're usually painting the same painting. There's like 13 to 15 people. This is a perfect example. At the end of the session, everybody shows their paintings, and not one is even remotely the same. Some people used more black and dark. Some people had bigger clouds. Some people had bigger haze here and hues here and shared this, and it was angular and more rigid, and they're not the same. It couldn't be more exact of an analogy of what our symptoms are, and more importantly, not what we do to correct symptoms, because symptoms are healing. If we do anything to stop the symptoms, that means we did this to stop healing, and that doesn't provide for us understanding moving forward, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. That would be us picking a scab, pointing at the blood, and going, I'm healing. They told me to pick the scab. I felt better for a little while. My skin's smooth for like a fraction of a second. Now I'm bleeding. What should I blame the bleeding on? My genes? My spouse? My mom? My dad? No. Healing symptoms all the time. The body doesn't know any different. It's not healing if you're good, healing if you're correct, healing if you do all the right stuff. It's always healing. So the symptoms are a healing expression creatively for you. That's why calling it something completely annihilates it, because it's taking the you out of it. It'd be like calling your painting something and then comparing it to everybody else's. And out of that class, who was right? Who was correct? That'd be like the instructor, the doctor, going, well, according to what I learned, the school taught me that the painting should look like this. You're healthy. You 14? You're fucking not. Here's drugs, herbs, supplements, Reiki, energy, bodywork. Oh my God, I guess I'm okay. I guess I'll just do better next time. Oh, no. We'll tell you how you're going to do. We'll tell you what to paint. In fact, we don't even trust you because that's not how we're taught. We're going to do a paint by numbers and good luck. And that's where we're at. The analogy could not be more perfect. It's frustrating because there's people that feel hopeless. There's people that are terrified. There's people that are at their wits' end and they're symptomatic and they're scared and I can't stand hopelessness. I can't stand when somebody is scared of their own body. I cannot stand when I hear that. That's my driving force behind this whole thing, because I'll go through that and I'll sit here and look at my body, how it's responding, or feel my body, how it's responding. And I'm like, God damn it, thank you. Jesus, fuck. There's no way I'd be able to take on this without you. But if I were to doubt that and not trust myself, and then have to also go do the work, and then have to also go do the steps and cut out this and add this and subtract this and completely revamp this in a whole new way and take a blind step on a path I've never been on before, oh my God. And that is what drives me. So your healing, your injuries, your symptoms, your expressions are a painting, you in and of itself. Your changes are taking the same colors that everybody has access to. It's universal laws, universal principles, universal concepts. Everybody has access to them. They're fucking free. And what you're going to do is harvest them and paint. And guess what? Whatever you paint is never wrong. Whatever you paint is always perfect. Whatever you paint is yours, not to be compared to a standard. Why do you think labs and imaging are a disaster? It's comparing your painting to somebody else's that was right. Who determined that? Whatever man created the school and taught those people how to interpret the test. Are you kidding me right now? See how does that even remotely connect? It's the most inhuman way, and this is all of medicine. It is literally telling you, judging you on a paint this scape. Everybody do it. Do your best. And then afterwards, you're being judged to your painting because your painting wasn't healthy, your painting wasn't right. Even if you're upset at the painting, it's never wrong. And your applications and understanding and changes are going to be taking those same colors and painting your life. You are painting your life moving forward. And even if you had a good 3 months, 3 years, and you're like, I want to paint that same 3 years. Those 3 years rocked. You could not repeat the painting because your strokes will be totally different. That's the point. You in 3 years is a completely different person than you now. Always changing, always different. So we got house calls, we got sip and paint, we got healing is painting, we got your healing expression, we got your efforts and understanding is painting. That's why, is there ever a wrong painting? Come on. Is there ever a wrong piece of art? That just doesn't fit. Doesn't account for anything. Anything human. Human is, your most natural state is symptomatic. Your most natural state is injured. Your most natural expression is an authentic symptom. It's a creative expression that you could not be more natural and perfect with symptoms. Without symptoms, excuse me. What? Yeah. Symptoms of healing are perfect. They're yours. But we hear this, oh, the body's in an unnatural state because it's symptomatic. Who the fuck? And I know who's saying that. The top docs with all the the most natural state is a symptomatic person. And then to even think, and we're getting into other things, even think that you're going to have a future of no symptoms and no injuries. And no death. Because that's a big thing with medicine. Just prevent death. That's impossible. So I don't even know why that's being said. But, all right. Sounds good. Sells good. It's terrifying. Shit. Doesn't make any sense. All right. Email me for house calls. Hope this made sense. Enjoy your evening.